Thanks for tuning in to Pillow Talk, Sin in the City. It's your girl, Mrs. JaKCson, only if you're nasty. And you know I paid for you today, girl. I brought along your other favorite beat freak, Miss Truth.
Good morning, you guys. And I'm going to apologize in advance. My energy is so low today.
She is not feeling truthful today.
No, I'm always truthful, but I'm truthfully tired. So, yeah, absolutely apologize in advance. But I'm going to definitely do my best. Give you guys a good show.
Well, your energy as far as this wardrobe is definitely popping today. I'm feeling all that ethnicity that's popping over there. You got your little tribal print and them truth earrings. Shout out to a Queen's box because them earrings is truthfully popping.
Definitely shout out to a Queen's box. That's my lady. She got the stuff I need.
That crack.
Between her and Joanna with the chakra bracelets, I'm good to go.
I do need to get my chakra bracelets up to cleanse some of these negative energies and vibes going around. How was your week? What's up? What's new?
I don't even remember my week. My week is
one of those.
It's a blur. I know I quit my job on, what was that, Monday?
Freedom.
So yeah, I quit Monday, and yeah, Tuesday I actually enjoyed my house.
Hold on, can I interrupt you for 1 second?
Mm-hmm.
One question: Did you do the how high? Fuck you.
No, as
fuck
bad
you.
as I wanted to,
You're
I
cool.
didn't, because most of the people I wanted to say fuck you to weren't there, so I had to save my fuck yous. But I may take a special trip up there just to tell them fuck you. But no, I left in a classy way. I even gave them a full 2-week notice. They just kind of forced it to be a little earlier, 12 days instead of 14. I don't understand why, but that's what they decided on. So
because niggas fuck shit up on their last couple of days.
But I wasn't even about that life. I don't need them fucking up my last check, so I wasn't finna fuck nothing up. They know I love my coins,
right?
So got to enjoy my house. I think Wednesday was the day I actually stayed in my pajamas until like 3.
Isn't it lovely?
It actually felt really good. I need one of those days today. With this weather flip-flopping, I'm feeling like it's starting to affect me. And I start my new job on Monday, so I can't get sick.
Oh, no. Ain't nobody got time for that at all.
Not at all. And I got a bedroom candy party tonight, so I will be going home to take a nap.
Get you some tea first.
When we're done.
Get some nice tea.
Oh, I got all the good teas.
I know you
at
got
home.
arsenal.
You know I got the good teas.
Mother love.
You
heard what I called you.
You not this morning.
Said I'm not mother love.
Not this morning, Crystal. Not this morning.
Damn.
Yes,
she
ma'am.
went government on me. Don't nobody know that name.
They do
Retract, edit, back that up. No, just kidding. So today, I guess the topic is what? To beat or not to beat? That is the question. I kind of like that.
I like that too.
Yeah, to beat or not to beat before marriage. That is the question.
And this all came about because we came across this article of a woman who saved herself from marriage and ended up being stuck with bad sex. And so I guess I understand the whole waiting, the biblical standpoint, I guess. You're supposed to save it. But I don't believe in being tied to bad sex for the rest of my life.
That part. I mean, it's a double-edged sword, I feel like. Like, I need to know what I'm getting into. You don't go and lease the car without a test drive. Like, now, and this is an option to buy, actually. No, we're not leasing. You buying it when you're marrying it. So, like, I just can't, because there's so many factors that come into play, like compatibility and, are we sexually compatible? Do we vibe?
And a lot of people don't think that matters or don't want to address the fact that matters. But sex matters. Like, most relationships or marriages fail because of the lack of sex, and you got to go somewhere else to get the sex. And then comes the cheating or the pornography or whatever the case may be, because you're not sexually compatible with who you said I do to. And I know over time things can change, whatever, and you may get boring and, that's where you spice it up. But if you guys started off sexually compatible, you guys know that there's a way to bring it back. You just may have to graduate to bigger and better. But I could never, I couldn't imagine Like some of these people are together for years before they actually have sex, and then they say I do, and then the sex is whack as fuck. Like I just wasted all this time and saved all of this virginity. And then,
all of this goodness.
And then you give me this whackness.
But I mean,
and it can go both
you
ways.
Learn though.
Can
you not teach him?
Ways.
You can't teach him. You can't teach an old dog no tricks.
Well,
but
it's
this is
a new
dog, right?
But they both. What if they both knew? That's a question. What if they both don't know what the hell they're doing?
Then maybe that's better because you're growing and learning and sharing and caring and experiencing all of this together. I mean, because think about in relationships where do you really want to know about your partner's exes and compare yourselves to them? What if you're not the best now that you're married because they've experienced somebody else? So now you got to compete and live up to the other expectations.
Well, I don't know nothing about that life.
She was doing backflips on the,
I don't know nothing about that because I am the best. But
I know that's right. But I'm just saying, what if Superhead was out there and like Superhead on crack?
Superhead ain't got shit on me. Let's just put that out there.
What if Super Whitney was out there?
Super who?
Super Truth.
Right. But
listen, you threw the government, so.
But no.
That's
being realistic, I was just joking, you guys. But even if your person has had some other experiences, when it comes to marriage, you guys, it's a complete package. So yes, there may have been a superhead that was absolutely amazing at the physical satisfaction of, your person that you're with. But she may have had a horrible attitude, no ambition, no drive, no get up and go. She didn't know how to cook. She doesn't know how to clean. Like all of these things come tied together when we're talking marriage. Now, if we're talking just fucking, then yeah, you have a problem. But with a marriage, when a real man seeks a mate, he wants everything together. When a real woman seeks a mate, she should want everything together, not just, well, he sucked my pussy good, so I want to marry him.
Is sex everything?
It's not, but it's absolutely important. And I need people to stop downplaying it like it's only important by like 2%. No, it's like 30%. And
I'll probably
sometimes
give it more
40.
than that. Yeah, I was going to say probably at least a good 40.
Because that's when you have time to truly reconnect to your partner. So I believe, because in my life, we go, 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 go. When we finally have that moment to reconnect, it's like a recharge of our marriage.
Yes.
So
why do you want to give that
important
to somebody outside of your marriage? Especially if it goes back to that one flesh philosophy that they preach in the Bible and all of that.
So what do you mean?
So why you want to share that connection with everybody? Or I won't say everybody, but someone other than the person who you're going to be tied to for life.
So meaning, why do people have sex before marriage?
Yeah, if it's about a connection. I mean,
because some people
why
like
do you want
fucking.
that connection?
And
so is it just about that? Like
sometimes it is. Like, okay, so you guys, y'all know I'm
why
not
get married?
Religious. I am spiritual, but I was religious at one point.
Right.
And even at this point, I still was fucking. So it's like, to me, I feel like there's so many sins out here in this world. And from what I'm told, none is greater than the other. But people emphasize on sex so much when it's people out here really just killing people like left and right. But you're telling me because I'm fucking before marriage, I'm like the devil.
Or because I'm with a woman.
Exactly. So
but
like
the pastor's
no
up here
sin.
fucking deacon. Deaconess. What is it called?
Child, I ain't go to the church. Pearls.
But
Lord.
It's true. And Lil Becky and Lil Bobby in the back at choir rehearsal.
And that's what I'm saying. This is all
that.
true. But I think this is the thing is I don't know why sex became such a big deal. And it's like.
But the pastor is fucking. I'm sorry, I had to go back because I'm like the pastor fucking a deacon. But he might be because they be down low too.
She must really know. If y'all know the pastor that's fucking a deacon and y'all know who she's talking about, don't tell me because I don't want to know. But
it's going down in somebody's church, I bet you.
But I just feel that people should be free. I'm all for free spirits, and I feel that if you, like how people say, if they get it beforehand, what do they need to marry you for? That's not true. Most people I know that are married and successfully married, they was fucking before they got married. So, like, the people that saved it and waited and we're not going to do this until we got married, they got a little dose and realized this ain't enough and I want to try a little bit more.
Or I don't like this. Or I like something different.
Exactly.
Or, hey, I like women.
Now, you guys, I'm not saying you guys that are saving it, I'm not saying don't save it. If you feel right saving it, just save it.
But it's pros to saving it. You don't have to worry about illegitimate children and not having a two-parent household. That I guess that was maybe it was the ideal behind saving sex into marriage in the Bible. God intended for children to have the dynamic and the completeness, the wholeness, the stability of a two-parent household.
Okay, so what about if you start as a two-parent household, but then you're bored and you want something else? So now the household splits. So what do you call that household? It's no longer two parents.
But I mean, marriages work too, so why not try to work it out?
How many people really work?
But how many put forth that effort?
I'm honestly just being devil's advocate right now, you guys. I don't absolutely believe in everything that's coming out of my mouth, but I'm legitimately asking these questions because there are some people that strongly feel this way. Like, okay, two-parent household, I get it. There's a lot of two-parent households that I see, and these people are not married. Yeah. And it's working out just fine. They're not married on paper. People emphasize on that paper. On that big wedding where people can come and see, because in the Bible they didn't have marriage certificates.
There's an emphasis on paper now with the culture. Like if you don't sign it, you got to do it in front of God.
I hear you, but all these people that are typically doing this are these religious people. There was no marriage certificate in the Bible.
No, I don't think so.
So I'm just wondering why there's so much emphasis on that, and why these two people that are being committed to one another, they're living in the same household. They're taking care of their children. They're only with one another. Why are they frowned upon? It's called shacking up.
But what if maybe they did take a commitment to one another in front of God? I don't think you necessarily have to have that paper.
Is it acknowledged in the church? Or is that considered shacking up? Let's be real. We've both been in the church house. Do they honor that in the church? Absolutely not. Because what? They believe you didn't come before God, but they don't know what you did in your private prayer life.
But what if you had like what are they called? Not the witch doctor, but you know what I'm talking about, like a shaman or somebody. And they perform the ceremony for you. There's several ways to do it. I didn't go get married before the church, I went in a church house. I didn't have a preacher do it, but my friend was ordained and she performed my ceremony. So does that make my marriage don't count anyway?
I'm asking all of these questions because people put so much pressure on mostly women. Mm-hmm. To save it until they get married. And then we save it. And then we get this guy or this girl. And it is just absolutely not what we want. It does absolutely nothing for us. Do you stay and just put up with it? Now, what if you do put in the work? You put in a whole year's work and you still get nothing. What do? You just stay and take the boring sex because what? Because you decided to say I do?
Irreconcilable differences.
What?
Irreconcilable.
You can't put sex in that category.
Why can't you?
Because we already said how important it is in a marriage.
But if we not having sex or we not sexually compatible, that's an irreconcilable difference. We've tried this and it just ain't working.
Then you're free to go. Don't double back. I need to know.
Then we get into religion. And then when is divorce okay? Is sex grounds for divorce? Because I married you and now you just can't, you're not doing it for me. So I mean,
I'd rather divorce you than cheat on you.
But then
or should I just stay with you and cheat on you?
For divorcing you? I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. According to the church. No?
People sin every day of their lives.
Yeah.
We sitting here sinning right now.
Who is without sin cast the first stone.
So we're going to take religion all the way out the equation. And we're just going to say, as a married person, you're absolutely just not happy sexually at all. Person's great. Can't take away from the person. But they are not sexually compatible with you.
So maybe we should have an open marriage.
I'm not okay with that. Then what's your next step?
There's porn, there's bedroom candy.
Porn's a sin too, supposedly.
Yeah, true, because it's immoral.
Exactly.
Immorality, all of that. But we all, like you said, we sin daily. So, who's to weigh this sin more than the other?
You get tired of toys after a while.
Yeah, because it ain't, it's not the same. It's not.
Exactly.
And it's missing that you don't get that connection that you spoke about. That connection is lacking with the toy. So what do? I don't know. We'd have a conversation. Maybe we go to a sex therapist. Maybe we need to spice it up, try some other things. Go to the Green Door, nasty. But something similar that's a
Because,
little
I
bit
mean,
more
you got to remember,
sanitary.
you got to see what type of things your partner is even open to trying.
Right, because what if they're not?
Exactly.
Then we got
Now,
a problem.
I feel like if a person doesn't even want to try, or if all of your attempts of trying are over, I believe you've said your piece, you've tried your best, and sometimes, I mean, you may have accidentally married the wrong person. It happens. And then I'm also one of those strong believers too. I do believe that you have more than one soulmate. People take that term a little bit too literally. But people believe that if I marry this person, this has to be the one. So I'm going to work, but I'm going to stay miserable. And then the misery will catch up to you. And then you'll meet this other person who is exciting everything in you. And then, oops, in the split of a second, I just got caught up. Now what?
You didn't just get caught up, though. It led up to that. So you knew. And I feel like before you get to that point, then you should just let it go. Honestly.
So they're allowed to let it go.
If you milk the cow before you buy it, you ain't got to worry about all of this.
And that's why I feel that
what if you do
should.
and things change? Because people change. And your sexual expectations and the things that you like sexually grow and change and develop as you get older. So what if you guys outgrow each other even still? So you're still not safe. Right?
Outgrowing is another thing, because with the outgrowing, there's always the play catch up portion. So with the playing catch up, so I was at a point to where I was down to try a little bit more things than my better half was wanting to try. What did I do? I just waited because I knew that he'd come around.
Right.
And so I just slowly started bringing and introducing little things in. And so with that, sometimes you just got to wait, let them play catch up, because it may be the other way around within a year or two. I may be playing catch up. That's totally different than just being completely off. But what are some benefits of saving it? Because I feel like we've been really mean and brutal
dogging it.
to the saving, and I don't want any of you that are listening that are saving it to feel like we are against you. Most of our people who are pillow talkers, I mean, they're pillow talkers, so they're out here doing the thing. But I mean, if you are saving it, I mean, it's a beautiful thing, and it's a lot of discipline. So I mean, I salute you. Because, yeah.
It's hard out here for a pimp.
Man.
I mean,
but what are some benefits?
There are benefits. You know, I had to look and see what other people said benefits were. And, I mean, you don't, like we said, you don't have to worry about unwanted pregnancies in most instances, less abortions, less sexually transmitted diseases, less hurt feelings, I think. You know, because sex does carry an emotional tie a lot of times. And women, we are emotional creatures, and niggas get pussy whipped too. So, I mean, you don't have to worry about all of that. I think once you're sexually involved, or I even read once you're sexually involved, that it even makes breakups harder. Because, you know, you've shared this higher level of intimacy, and you've given this person a part of yourself, you know. And that energy cannot... You transfer energy. You can't get that energy back.
Right.
So it makes it harder, you know, if it's not meant to be, or if it doesn't work out, unless you just go into it with the expectations that as our society is these days, it's going to be a hookup and it's going to be a one-night stand anyway, you know. What do you think? It's hard. You seem to be struggling with. Come on, there's got to be something.
I am, and the thing is there was a point in my life, believe it or not, to where I did feel like that was like really important. But I just don't believe in having to settle for bad sex your whole life. Well, I just don't feel that anybody should have to suffer through that.
That's very true. But what about giving this gift to you? This is the most sacred? No, you don't believe that? That's the most sacred gift that you can give to your spouse?
So these are for my people that are absolutely virgins, have never done anything, because we got some born agains and then we have some for real true life virgins. I'm going to absolutely save this for whoever I decide to marry. For you, yes, it's absolutely something that you should protect, because it's something that you've been protecting your whole life. So don't just give that to a one night stand. No, I'm not saying that. However, just make sure that you are willing to take on that fight of, okay, so we finally made love for the first time. Me and my wife are finally, or me and my husband are finally doing this. And this is it.
Right.
Like, this is all.
This is what I waited for.
Are you willing to put in the work to read the sex books or see a sex therapist or watch porn together so y'all can learn some different moves or whatever have you, so that
marriage is work.
I'm saying, but how many people really understand that you have to put in the work? Because I know a lot of lazy married people. I tell people all the time, me and my husband have never stopped working. It is work constantly.
Yes.
And so it's not happily ever after like a Disney movie.
Somebody said,
but it becomes my only thing with that is it becomes so easy for somebody to just go out and get that immediate satisfaction instead of putting in the work to fix what they have at home. And so this is just me, you guys. This is truth. I don't see anything wrong, and I won't condemn people that do decide to test drive before locking it down.
But we were supposed to be focusing on the benefits.
I gave a benefit. I said the true virgins, the ones that are truly, but not these. I mean, I can't change the way that I feel. It was hard. I tried, y'all. But like I said, I'm giving you guys props. Just be willing to put in the work. That's all I'm saying. The benefit is that if you do find the right one, and let's just say y'all both saved it for each other and y'all were really destined to be together, it's going to be absolutely magical.
Hopefully.
But however, somebody did pose a question that like I wasn't even thinking. How do you know what bad sex is if you've never had sex? So my answer to that is that you absolutely just reach no climax. You're bored out of your mind because everyone knows that you're supposed to get a certain gratification out of sex. So if that point never hits, to me, that's when it becomes, oh, well, I had bad sex.
Well, the first time hurts anyway. We talked about this on Cherry Pop.
I mean, not for guys, though.
Yeah, but for women, the first time hurts. And usually guys are going to enjoy it anyway because, I mean, let's be real. Not most guys are going to bust a nut just based off of the penetration at some point. Like, it's harder for women to climax. So I think it's more likely that the woman is going to probably have the bad sexual experience as opposed to the male, usually. Usually. I won't say that's always the case, but if the woman's out there leasing the vehicles before buying, and she's a hoe. So, I mean, then who wants to marry the bitch with all the body counts?
I mean, women.
I understood that.
Women that have a high body count, just know you guys can still get married. I don't know what too high is, but just know that doesn't always matter because you're bringing a lot of experience into the bedroom. So that just means you have to marry a secure man. But moving on to more benefits of why you should save it until marriage.
I have one. There was a study.
Did you save it until marriage?
Listen. I did not. I'll be honest. I did not. And I do have some regrets about it.
Do you really?
I do because, I mean, let's be real. My daughter hasn't had the best experience with her father all of her entire life, and he's stepping back up now, and I'm thankful for that. But, I mean, a lot of the heartbreak and all of that hurt that she went through could have been avoided if I waited until I was married because he has a wife and he has another family, and she sees, okay, well, he's always with them, and he does all of this because, I mean, he has to. That's his family. That's his full-time family. Not to say that she's not, but that's his household. And she misses out on that relationship and that full-time father figure because we didn't wait until we were married. So I think of stuff like that.
So just to interject really quick. So because you guys didn't wait until you're married, you feel that that's why your daughter does not have her father in her life?
No, that's him. That's him.
But okay, so yeah, I wanted to bring back to that. So it could have been avoided at one point, but if you two were not compatible anyway, even if you would have got married and had this baby, this beautiful daughter that you have, if you weren't going to stay together, you still wouldn't be together. And then it still would be a situation. And then now you have a divorce on top of a child as well. So now the child had you guys together at one point in time, then went through the whole divorce situation, and then got to see daddy remarried somebody else. So I'm not saying that your situation is ideal. Just know that it can also be another side to the story, and that's what I think a lot of
True,
people don't get credit for that, or they
every
get kind
story's
of
that way.
They think that if you get married, that your children are automatically going to have two parents in a household forever.
No,
you guys,
and daddy
it's
can
not
still
always
be
going to be
thought
the case.
bopping and all
Exactly,
of that. A marriage does not mean a happy household, but there's a higher likelihood maybe that they don't have to deal with the stuff that you do when you have two separate households and two separate parents. Like, it's a lot of heartache that I feel could have been avoided. So had I listened to my teachings,
You think?
I know, because I wouldn't have been having sex. So a lot of this shit could have been avoided. I truly in my heart feel like, okay, I get it. And I had an epiphany at night. Like, just, I understand why the Bible says not to have sex before marriage, because a lot of this shit could be avoided. STDs. Because, I mean, if you're married and you're committed and you're with your partner, hopefully you would be tested before you got married, so you know you're both going into this with a clean slate. If you're committed and you're only with your partner, then you're going to stay that way. And you don't have to worry about the AIDS and the HIVs and the herpes and the chlamydia and the syphilis and all that other shit that's going around.
And with this, you keep saying if. So I'm going to emphasize on the if.
But it's always an if.
Because like I said, you guys, today I'm devil's advocate. So if you and your partner got tested before you got married, you should be going in with a clean slate. You could be marrying somebody that can say, I've been saving myself, but they literally can only have been saving themselves for a year, because we got a lot of born agains.
Yeah.
So with that, you could be going into it, or let's just say somebody was born with an STD, and let's just say they don't even know yet. And so with this, now this is your gift. So again, if you were tested,
Not
was the first if. So if I would have waited, my daughter wouldn't be dealing with all this. That's again an if, because she could be dealing with that or worse.
Yeah,
I'm one to where I believe that everything happens for a reason. My daughter's father
God
is
don't make no
absolutely,
mistakes, so that's true.
absolutely the worst. However, I'm absolutely glad that I decided to be a fast tail and have my daughter, because she's absolutely amazing and she's a gift to the world. So again, if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. So I don't sit back and have ifs.
Get off the mic.
I don't sit
just
back
walk away
and have ifs. I don't want this to be an if conversation.
But I mean, that's what we talking about, our experiences, and in my mind, that's really how I feel. Like, let me take out the if and put had. Had I not done this, had I listened, had I adhered to the word, I truly feel a lot of these. But God is true and tested and faithful, and so if I listen to and adhere by His words, and this is so crazy that the lesbian on the show preaching, but like I have faith, and I really feel like He's not gonna lead me down the wrong path. So had I listened to His principles, given these are really His principles, because who's to say? I mean, it says all scripture is beneficial and true. So I got to trust that it's true. But there's things in the Bible that I truly don't agree with. So they say you're not supposed to pick and choose.
Exactly.
You're not supposed to pick and choose. You're supposed to take it at truth, but maybe it's just a lesson that's supposed to be learned. I don't know. I'm figuring out my spirituality.
And I'm glad you brought all of this up, because it's definitely going to tie into the show that I'll be doing after this, Like Water for Chocolate, because we'll be diving onto the whole religious, spiritual aspect and the judging of such, and how people pick and choose what they want out of the Bible to benefit their own lives. But anyhow,
I just trust in my Father, okay? And that you're going to do what's best for me, because you haven't steered me wrong to this point. So yeah, you don't make no mistakes. Everything was a learning experience. I've learned and I've grown from it. But some things, your parent tells you don't touch the stove because the stove is hot. Period. So you're telling me this, and okay, I got to be a hard ass and touch it, and now I got this blister. But true facts, had I listened to you and not touched this stove, I would not have this blister on my hand. So I got to trust that He know what He's saying and He know what He's doing, and you're not going to lead me down the wrong path.
So the only thing that I'm saying is you brought up the stove, so we'll go ahead and we'll play off of that, because I'm real good at playing off of situations. So your mom or dad told you don't touch the stove is hot, you'll be burnt. Okay, so you don't do it at that giving time. However, you're in the kitchen cooking one day, something happens, you still get burnt anyway. So stuff is going to happen regardless. It may happen. But don't intentionally go do it. You're not going to do it on purpose. I don't think you intentionally had your daughter and intentionally had your relationship come to an end. I don't think that was intentional.
I intentionally had her ass kinda.
I'm just saying, like,
I hear
don't
what you're
believe
saying.
that
No,
it was
nobody
an
goes
intentional
in intending to
mistake.
fail.
And
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So I just feel that people are just a little bit too hard on those who do believe in kind of trying life out, because honestly, sometimes trying life out makes you great.
That's very true.
Because I tried the hell out of life.
Practice makes perfect.
Absolutely.
So I agree with that too. And so, but we were going to benefits of not doing it.
I feel it. I'm sorry. I told you I'm devil's advocate.
So we're
going
gonna
to
go.
Benefits.
We're gonna go to angelic route. There was a study. I like my research. So a study. They involved 2,035 married individuals. This was done by the Journal of Family Psychology. And they pretty much asked these people, these are individuals who have waited until marriage to have sex. It said that they rated sexual equality 15% higher than people who had premarital sex. So they're saying sex is better when you wait. I wonder how true that is.
And I'm thinking that may be true to them because they don't know any better.
That might be true.
And so, you know what? That could be a good thing. Like, if you don't know all of these great things that are out there, then keeping it simple may absolutely work. Absolutely. So that could be facts for them. So, okay, that was a good fact.
What about this one? They said that the relationship stability was 22% higher than those who had premarital sex.
That could definitely be true, because you got to also remember the type of people that are going to be waiting.
That's true.
They have a lot more discipline. They have a lot more faith. They have a lot more, I guess, I don't know, just a lot more dedication to that person, because they still consider their sex as a gift.
And this is your first.
So they want to hold on
sometimes.
to that. So for those people, yes, this may be a fact. So there we go. Boom. Another fact.
You see, you tried to skip over that first time person, but a lot of people get hooked. That's your first. And like your first, I've heard that your first always holds a special place in your heart. I beg to differ. But these hopeless romantics, which are usually the ones who wait.
Is there a third fact?
Listen, that's true though, because it's hopeless romantics.
Oh,
so yeah,
man.
I believe it. Yeah, there's another one. It says they rated their satisfaction with their relationships 20% higher. So you think that goes to that first time?
Wait, reread that one more time for me. I was laughing at one of the comments we have on our live video.
Their satisfaction with their relationships is 20% higher than those who had premarital sex.
And okay, so yeah, that may be facts to them as well, because you know what? If you don't know anything else, what you have is good. So that,
but satisfaction with your relationship doesn't only have to be sexually, just the overall satisfaction.
Most of them have never really had a full relationship. Those that are truly saving it normally are saving everything.
So they don't date?
They may go out on a date. We're talking full relationship. Like, well,
why you
real
can't be
relationship.
in a relationship? You have to be in a relationship before you get married? So you saying they just wait and find a special one to date and be serious with?
Dating and relationships are two separate things.
So
dating, courting, all of that's different. A full-fledged relationship to me is everything. Like, we're really together. And typically, the people that are saving themselves, when they really find that person that they're ready to do the whole, okay, let's do this relationship thing, that's typically the person that they marry.
Yeah.
And so with that, if this is the only true relationship that you've known, or the only way you know how to have a relationship, once you add that gift of sex in it, then yeah, now it's absolutely amazing. And I don't know anything else. I don't know of any other relationships with sex in it. So yeah, this is the best for me. This is a great relationship because I don't know anything else. But then we have those who have had multiple relationships and multiple sexual encounters, and we got a problem with comparing. We have something to compare it to. They don't have anything really to compare it to.
What about the respect factor? So they say that the man or even the woman who waits, who respects the fact that you're waiting, that's more of the mate that you're looking for, because they're going to have more respect for you in the long term, because they're putting you and your wishes above their own physical desires. You call bullshit? Because your face kind of say bullshit.
No, okay, no. Glad people can't see my face. Don't be telling me.
But that's why I have to describe it.
So
these facial expressions
facts,
are everything.
It's facts for them. And I appreciate their facts. I do. I just don't want anyone to feel that they won't be respected or taken seriously or put on a pedestal or being treated as a king or queen because of other reasons or because they decided not to save it. That's my only issue with this is there's just so much put on the whole, if you save it, it makes you greater.
But that's usually only for women.
Right. If you save it, it makes you greater.
Yeah, you're the prize.
I call
possession.
bullshit.
You've seen The Best Man. My dick shaped, her pussy shaped to my dick. I'm the only one who been up in that. Whoop de whoop whoop whoop.
And then he found out it was false.
Dream, but that's every nigga's dream.
But then he found out it was false.
That's usually how it goes.
So that was a horrible movie.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. And then she died from cancer. Lord Jesus. What about this one? It says that the friendship in the relationship grows because they waited. So does having sex take away that friendship? Is that less of your friend because you're fucking them?
I honestly don't know.
You think there's more companionship because you're taking out that sexual aspect?
Probably, yeah, because they had to learn to like each other just by liking each other.
So maybe that
Since
adds to the
sex had
stability and the quality of the relationship. And that's why those statistics are higher.
Okay, we can call that one a fact. I won't even say
Oh,
that's
we
their
got
facts. We can call
one.
that one
We
a
got
fact. So
one.
boom,
Ding, ding,
okay.
ding, ding, ding.
I agreed with one. I'm not that great, you guys. So yeah. That one I like. I like that one. That one absolutely makes sense to me.
It says you feel more free to question whether you should continue the relationship. I don't completely understand the logic behind that one.
I guess they feel that they can always use that whole, well, this is all we ever know. How do we know that there's not something else out there for us?
Yeah, that trapped feeling.
They can use that because it's true. So yeah, that they can freely, yeah, they got a good, ooh, that's bad. So that should actually make their reasoning and their divorce rate a little bit higher since they get to use that statement. You're the only person I've ever been with. So how do I know, or how do we know that we're who we're supposed to be with?
There.
Exactly.
I think that's like a normal line that you hear on these shows and stuff when people cheat. Yeah, that's a good one. It says there's less risk of physical and verbal abuse if you wait. How so?
I don't think that has nothing to do with it.
I don't either.
Honestly, I had to ponder on that, but I don't think that has anything to do with it because normally an abusive person has that trait in them before they get involved with anyone else.
Because, I mean, Tina didn't wait. She didn't. She gave it to him before. But, I mean, Ike was Ike. And even once they was married, he was still, we saw the scene when he raped her. So, I don't agree with that because I've heard several instances you're even being married to a man that you can still be raped. That's physical abuse.
This is
he still can talk
true.
shit to you. And then maybe they feel more so like they own you. So maybe that can increase the rate of abuse. I don't know how I feel about that statistic.
We also have to remember who's doing these statistics and what type of people they're asking. Just like with Family Feud. Sometimes I see those answers and I'm like, who the hell answered them? So I'm going to take this as a Family Feud type of question situation. And those 100 people they asked, we just got to consider the source.
Here's a good one. I kind of like this one. It increases the repertoire of ways to show affection. But that's true. Like, there are so many ways to show affection and to be intimate. And people think that a lot of people mistake sex to be the only way to be intimate and be affectionate with your partner. So I like that one. I do like that one.
We've already discussed on, I'm not sure which episode, but we've already talked about other ways to be intimate with your partner without intercourse. We absolutely have.
So if that's the case.
And I ain't save it for marriage.
Reasons why? Why? No, why not?
I'm just saying, look, this is my last time giving a disclaimer. I'm going to be devil's advocate this entire conversation.
It says that people's self-esteem are higher if they wait.
Because they feel like a prized possession. Nobody has used them and passed them along and kept it moving and then moved on to the next and moved on to the next. So they feel
Still
a
at the
little
top
bit
of all the hit lists.
Yeah, and the men are chasing after that. So yeah, I can absolutely I don't know how many women chase after virgin men, but yeah, with women I could see how that could be so.
It says that individuals who wait, and it says it tends to enhance their intellectual, artistic, and social potential because they put that creative energy into developing their talents.
I can call that a fact. That I believe to be so.
That's deep.
I believe that to be absolutely correct, because if I would have put all that energy into something else that I was putting into perfecting my sexual craft, I could probably be like a real good artist of some sort. I'm just kidding.
All of that passion of the Christ, Lord Jesus. And then this one we already talked about. It, if you decide to break off the relationship, it'll hurt less. So,
I mean, I guess, like I said, whoever answered these questions, it's real to them. So, I mean, I don't know.
I'm sure there are others who feel that way, because you didn't have that breakup where the sex was just bomb and you kind of feel some kind of way. You might miss it. It might make it harder. It might sting more. You seen the meme like, oh, I'm mad at him. I'm mad at him. Vagina. I'm not. Boom. See?
This is true, but you can also have a heartbreak or a breakup that takes you forever to get over if you haven't had sex.
Yeah, because those hopeless romantics love hard.
Exactly. So again, like I said, I'm devil's advocate. I just feel that really there's no ifs, if I would ever, if any of this. I feel that whatever's meant to be is going to be. If you're given something, don't give up on it so easily. Work at it. If both of you work at it and it absolutely to this point is just over, I mean, figure out what you guys do from there. I mean, divorce is a very strong word. So, of course, you try to avoid that at all costs. But when we're talking sex is important. You guys, before you get married, I want you guys to repeat after me. Sex is important. It's not something that...
Hold on, I got another one for you. Marriage is work.
Yes, it's not just the pretty wedding and the dresses and all of this. But I just want you to understand, just in your life, as you're out there and if you thought and bopping and that's your life, that's fine. Just remember that you may get married and your mate may be like, well, let's go ahead and be honest. How many people have we been with? And then they give you a number of like 7.
Still gonna have to multiply by 3.
And then you decide to say, okay, I'm gonna be slightly honest. I'm gonna say 16. So
that's slightly honest. I can't.
Just make sure that you understand your path and what you're doing. However, either part of the fence, I want y'all to know that with myself, Truth, and Mrs. JaKCson, we don't think you're wrong either way you try to live your life. Whichever, whether you decide to wait or whether you decide to not wait. It's just when I was reading that article, I'm like, you know what? This is some real stuff, because I would have been real mad.
Because what do you do
if I would have just been stuck with boringness?
And then especially if you're religious and biblically tied and inspired,
and then
you can't just walk away.
Exactly. So yeah, that article was good. Do you remember the person who wrote it? I just want to make sure we shout them out because they absolutely gave us the reason for this topic. But yeah, we read that, and a few of our pillow talkers read it. It was definitely a great read. If you didn't read it, you could definitely go into our group on Facebook.
Pillow Talking with Truth. Wait, Pillow Talking with Truth and Mrs. JaKCson. I think it's the group, but you can find it.
You can find it
Pillow Talk page.
From the Pillow Talking page. So yeah, if you go onto the Pillow Talking page, you can definitely find our group, and we posted that article. It's a really good read. And we're going to start posting more articles as well that tie into the shows that we plan on doing, just to give you guys a little taste of where our heads are at.
And we didn't forget about the book club, but a lot of y'all did not read the first book.
Yeah. And so we're going to try that again in 2018 one time and see if we can actually get some success with this book reading. I don't know when I'm going to find time to read a book. I'm going to have the book read to me. I'm going to have to do that audio situation.
Book. Yeah.
I'm going to have to do that.
And find a page turner. That way, everybody's into it. And something for the fellas, too. But the article is on XONecole, XONECOLE.com. I saved my virginity for my husband and ended up with bad sex.
Yeah. Well, there we go. So shout out to XO Nicole for the dope article.
By J. Renee. That's the writer, J. Renee.
Okay. Well,
So J. Renee, thanks for sharing your story.
we appreciate the article.
Pillow Talkers, we want to leave you with the final question. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, but let us know to beat or not to beat. That is the question.
Y'all should see her face. But it's been real. It's your girl, True.
And I'm Miss JaKCson.
Until next time. Bye, y'all.